What if we already work for Catalyst?
Most people here are really smart, apparently.
Including the ones in the shirts.
No one in Catalyst should raise their hand. They know better.
I got a college shirt.
All right, someone go stop traffic. This is really annoying. They got louder.
Can I get paid?
I told you.
What's that?
If I volunteer, can I get paid?
If you're a volunteer, we'll double your salary. Absolutely.
That sounds like a good deal.
Your previous Catalyst salary is what I'm talking about. Well, there are magnitudes of nothing.
Yeah, but we gotta bring in an expert on that. I think Steve Washington is busy.
Well, you see, we get fringe benefits. So if he doubles it, the fringe is like twice as long.
So is this like the pyramid scheme? So if I bring in 10 friends, I get more?
We can work with that.
Oh no, you don't get to sit in the back. You get to sit up front.
There we go. Pete, you're off the hook. Unless Jason wants you up here.
Who is dreading being up here?
Mike Blanca?
Yeah, hey, go for it. Come on, run it.
Is Randall on his way or is it me?
He wanted me to tell how to do that.
This is a great man.
We got
Seriously? Are you kidding me?
All right, count off. How many people we got? Starting back. 1.
75. Tell him 75. See how fast he gets here.
All right. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to send a text message.
We are now taking bets on how long it will take Randall Bills to actually show up.
Never.
Never.
Hey, there we go. All right.
I'm very impressed at all of you for finding this. Nice work.
And for showing up at a very late hour, which, you know, I don't know about you guys, but we are tired. So this actually, so here's a question right off the top while we're waiting for Randall. I just want to kill some time.
No, don't wait for Randall. We're going to start without him.
All right.
I'm not waiting for that.
Does this evening kind of idea work for you guys as opposed to that, you know, Saturday, right in the middle of gaming hours thing we usually have done? You like this? Who likes this idea? Evenings.
I need time.
Who hates this idea of evenings? Hates.
People who
already work here. Awesome. All right.
The people who count like it.
So right now, 7, 8, 9. We're talking about 7, like after hours, but maybe a little earlier in the evening. You want time to go have dinner and just drink and then come back here and listen to us be idiots, or what do you want?
Why can't we drink in here?
Service dinner.
Is that a rule against that? If there is, we get a bar?
That's not a recipe for disaster at all.
Put water in my water glass.
Ask the guy from Gen Con.
Oh, Gen Con is the last thing we care about. No offense. No, seriously, we're talking next year about 7, 8, or 9. So what worked for you guys? You guys had the worst schedules because you're trying to fit in who knows how many games. Is 7 better? 8? So 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's pretty evenly split. But for the people who care, that was pretty evenly split. But
now there could be people who would prefer 8 who just aren't here to vote because they wanted to be 8.
Well, that's their fault.
Was that a suggestion or a late vote?
I have a question.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not have the schedule for the seminar like back in May and whatnot when the event registration goes live?
That is a really good question, and hopefully someone who knows the answer to that will show up very soon.
I already had tickets.
This was actually kind of this was a new thing for me. I wasn't expecting a nice seminar. But that's okay. This is actually a really great room. A lot of people here. Anytime you guys outnumber the employees, I feel really good. So, is he on his way? All right. Where's the Gen Con guy? Who was that we talked to earlier? Is he still here?
He's up, actually,
walked out.
Looking for people in the hallway? All right. It is. All right, 9:06. That's enough. Okay. Welcome to the Catalyst seminar. Where we will talk about. That was early. We will talk about BattleTech, Cosmic Patrol, Leviathans, Valiant. Give me a second here. Vikings. Hold on. I'm missing one.
Wrath of Dragons?
Jarl's Vikings.
Wrath of Dragons.
Wrath of Dragons.
Wrath of Dragons. That was one I was forgetting. Bravest Warriors. Thank you. Anything else?
No, that's Harebrant Studios.
You can leave now.
But I won't.
I know, it's
Harsh.
you know you can. You can stay tuned.
Harsh.
It's all right.
Just so we get a feel for who's out there, so we actually know who to pander to. Battletech fans. All right, down. Shadowrun fans. All right, a little underrepresented, but they're devious. So
Underrepresented?
underrepresented.
You haven't hit the bar yet?
Oh yeah, I have.
All right.
So, is there anyone here that's here not for Battletech or Shadowrun? The others. What are you doing? Actually, the others. I really want to know.
Yeah,
What?
Duke mostly.
Duke, love it.
I actually just came here because the Wrath of Dragons thing was new and somebody said to check it out.
Awesome. Come on, I saw a few other hands.
Cosmic Patrol of the Duke.
Cosmic Patrol of the Duke. Excellent. Oh, Philip, no, you don't count. No. All right. Was there anyone else who does not work for me who actually had an opinion on this? Okay. That's
Technically.
volunteers. Volunteers don't get no. I loved hearing the Duke. I loved hearing you just came here just because Wrath of Dragons was. You were told it was. We should check it out. We are very excited about that game. The Duke. I'm a big fan of the Duke. I've been playing it nonstop for 2 years now.
To be fair, he also wants to know if the dragons in the game can attack using deep fryers.
What?
Nothing. That was a very narrow in-joke.
Wow.
One person got it done. That was all it was.
Who got that joke? You can leave now. All right. So we're waiting for Randall Bills to show up. And when he shows up, we all need to give him to blow him a big raspberry for being late. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3 just when he comes to the door. But we'll wait for that to show up. Okay, what's up with Catalyst? We've got Battletech, Shadowrun, and other games, as you know, which we're very excited to talk about. I can tell you the last 2 years have been 2 of the best years, maybe the 2 best years in Catalyst history. We are, the product is doing great. The conventions have been well attended. We're getting a lot of great feedback from all the players. We're really happy. We'll take some questions later where you can give us your personal bitches, and that's just fine. We want to hear them.
Or the questions where we become their personal bitches.
That too. Because if we don't know it's broke, we can't fix it. All right, we have to know it's broken first. And we know there's some things that just need to get fixed. But hopefully you've seen we've been doing better and better as time goes by. We're not just basically doing just Shadowrun, just Battletech. We're trying to bring you other fun games. And there was one question I forgot to ask. Multiple games. If you're here for more than Battletech or Shadowrun or the other, you're here for multiple game line. You are a multiple game line player. Awesome. I would have said about 10% of the audience. I think maybe got a little better than that. So we're hoping to encourage more of you to try multiple games in the future as you find other things that kind of like hits you in the right in the zone. So we'll find out what those are later. Hopefully in this progress. We got 1 hour or 2 hours here.
I thought it was just one.
I can go for 2.
How long do you expect to stay here?
Yes.
1 hour?
1 hour it is.
All right, 1 hour. So be it.
The question
1
is
hour.
not how long can you talk. That's not a question we're going to ask.
Until morning.
Until
All right.
Until you're done talking.
tell him that.
That needs 1 hour.
Until all the information.
We're gonna need a bar then.
Yeah.
Randall's not going to get here till morning.
Nah, he's probably on his way walking over now thinking, I should have been there early, Is it over? Isn't it over?
9:30.
Oh. All right, Randall actually has an excuse, so we'll call it a reason. No, we'll call it an excuse.
You double booked him, didn't you?
I didn't double book anybody. I didn't book any of this. That's okay. All right, so we're going to go right into some of the games we run and the worlds you guys hopefully all love to live in when you're not doing your regular 9-to-5 things. We all love these universes. We spend a lot of time in them. We, meaning the staff and volunteers for Catalyst and demo agents, we spend a lot of time living in these make-believe worlds, trying to make them as fun as possible for you. And so that means a lot to us when we see a good turnout, that you enjoy playing in these worlds with us. So we'll talk a bit about what's going on briefly in all the major worlds. We'll talk about other things Catalyst will be doing in the near future. We have some really great information about some new licensing we're doing, some new worlds we're going to be exploring that might be really, really exciting for you. And then at the very end, we'll take Q&A for about the last 15, 20 minutes. In the meantime, we'll try to entertain you. We will certainly entertain ourselves. And Jason and I may or may not throw a punch at each other. But until then, let us start. Yeah, starting from the bottom, work your way up. Let's go with Shadowrun. Good.
You mean as in the foundation?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I meant.
That's what you meant. All right, Shadowrun. Welcome to Late Night with Shadowrun. I'm your host, Barry Swizzlestick. Happy to have you all here.
They make pills for that.
I'm in a good mood. So what's going on with Shadowrun? If you have not been to the booth yet, you have not seen that the new augmentation sourcebook, Chrome Flesh, is here in both regular and limited edition. It looks like that, right back there. It's got a cover of an orc charging out of an ambulance with a hypodermic needle in his neck. It's awesome.
And like all of your Cyberduck orcs, he's ignoring all the bullets.
Also new is the World of Shadows anthology. One of the points of that anthologies was to show that the Sixth World is a big place where lots of stories happen. So every story is set in a different location. So you go from Hong Kong to New Orleans. I think there's a Denver story. It goes very far-ranging. So if you want to see the whole breadth of the Sixth World, check out that anthology. You will find it in the middle of the Shadowrun fiction section.
That's you.
That's me? Okay.
That's you.
We have a Shadowrun fiction section, which is nice. We haven't had that in a while. There are six novels. Or if you want to read this way, 6 novels. I'm wasting like 10 seconds just on that. 6 novels there. The latest is Shaken by Rusty Zimmerman. If you read the novella Neat, you know how Rusty Zimmerman can capture the mood of Shadowrun, but there's also great stuff by R.L. King and Ty O'Connell, Phaedra Weldon. So come on by, take a look at the
Phaedra
novels.
Weldon?
Phaedra.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, as we've been doing every year, there is a CMP compilation, Convention Missions, so we have 4 of them bundled together. This is a particularly interesting compilation. It's called Boundless Mercy, but it's based on 4 missions that got really good feedback while they were being run, and they're all linked together, so it kind of works as a mini campaign. And it's got a great picture of somewhat eerie-looking nun on the cover. Strange description, but it works. So all that is new for Shadowrun. Also, if you play Shadowrun Crossfire, we had briefly the character expansion 2 with some street legends included in it. So if you want some cards that already have some upgrades built in and are characters from the Shadowrun universe, you can get that. We had it briefly, then it went away, but it's coming back tomorrow, hopefully, UPS willing. So we'll have more of that expansion. You can look forward in the near future to the High Caliber Ops expansion, which is a little more of everything. More black market cards, more obstacles, 5 new missions, 2 new role cards, a whole new set of upgrade stickers. That set of upgrade stickers is also in the Street Legends character expansion. So good stuff for Crossfire. So along with the new books, there are the recent books that came out. Bloody Business, the corporate-themed campaign book. All of the Big Ten are going through some degree of tumult and turmoil, so if you want to see what turmoil is the worst, which one might actually fall out of the Big Ten, take a look at that and run some fun campaigns in the corporate world of Shadowrun. We will have a corporate-themed book, a source book detailing all of the Big Ten, coming out early in 2016. You'll get a little clearer picture of just who's going down then. Someone is going down. We'll kick out one of the Big Ten. Also in the near future, we have a Deep Shadows source book, Hard Targets. The first Deep Shadows book in Shadowrun 5 focused on extractions. That was Stolen Souls. Hard Targets, we're going with wet work. So if you're the kind of Shadowrunners who take out people for pay, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, we have lots of good advice for you. Enjoy it. You'll also get information, since all the Deep Shadows books have setting information, you'll get information about Havana. So you'll see what's going on in the Carib League. So that should be fun. And then coming also in early 2016, since I get asked about it constantly, a Rigger book. We will have a Rigger source book, and we're calling it Rigger 5 because I want to. And also because that means Shadowrun 6th edition will come out in February. look forward to that. No, it won't.
Oh, here come the emails. I see.
I have been working. I've had a great opportunity that
On Shadow 6th edition? Better not be.
No, I haven't.
All right.
Don't always have the opportunity to sit down and make long-range plotting and planning, but the timeline worked out and I was able to do that, so we have a good 2-year plan. I have to get it approved by you and everything. It's got ponies. And
we have corrupted him now.
so and none of the books planned for those 2 years have the word 6th edition in them anywhere. So you will have a full 2 years at least of rigor, goodness, and it should be well over 2 years.
You need to project more, because you've got competition now.
I'll just wait for it to go. So that's coming in the near future. Also, we have, of course, the ebook line. So hopefully you're checking out that line. That is a place where we get to experiment a little more. One of the experiments we started was the Shadows in Focus series, where we have a series of ebooks all focused on the same place. So we did Sioux Nation first, so you got a nation overview. Spotlights on 2 cities. The Cheyenne book is already out. Butte will be coming next. Then you'll have 2 adventures. The first one for Sioux Nation is already out. That one is called Starving the Masses, and the second one, Counting Coup, will be coming shortly. And then we'll have short fiction, which should be coming out really shortly, called Wolf and Buffalo by R.L. King, who wrote Borrowed Time, the novel. So that's fun to get a look at the Sioux Nation that way. We have the next location selected. If you're interested in seeing what Morocco looks like in the 6th world, especially Casablanca, because I know I am, that's what we'll get to see. So we're going to Morocco in the ebook line. We also have other just one-off location books. We'll look at San Francisco.
There's a Rick's Cafe Americana there, isn't there?
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll look at San Francisco, look at Metropole, more e-fiction coming up. We have a Technomancer Focus ebook that is being worked on.
TikTok.
I got plenty of time. Anything else about the ebook line that I should mention?
Let's see. No gun books in the foreseeable future.
What's that?
No gun books in the foreseeable future.
That sounds unlikely. It's Shadowrun.
I haven't written anything lately. You know, give me a chance.
There will be tech books, though,
There will be
because
tech books.
we flog Peter until he makes tech books.
Let's see. We've got the location books coming out. We've got Morocco. At this point, we're almost about a year out in production. So I mean,
We got the line planned. We just will
Yes.
bring it up.
Shadowrunners, how many of you need more guns?
no.
More, so that's it, there we go. More guns. So be it.
The people have spoken. All right. Also on the
Next.
electronic side, we have missions. We have not been as regular with the release schedule of missions as we would like. We apologize for that, but improvements are coming. So you should see them coming out more regularly. There will be 6 episode seasons, so you get 6 missions in each season. We're not necessarily changing locations at the end of each season, but the larger plot will change. And so we are going to stay in Chicago for at least another season, because we're about done with season 5. Season 6 will be starting up soon. We'll continue in Chicago for a while, but you'll see different plot arcs. And there's some good fun planned, and I'm just going to leave it at that. No spoilers.
You didn't mention like the tarot. You didn't mention.
Am I done?
You said you were leaving it at that. I don't.
No, leaving the missions at that.
Oh, okay. Well,
What does that say?
241.
All right, thank you
40,
very much.
39. 37.
We also are planning, just to make your life finding information easier, an electronic resource that will act as a comprehensive index to all the core books. Well, but this one will be, you don't have to, search torrents or anything. So you will get an index, we'll keep it as a living document, so as new books come out, it'll be updated. That's the plan, and we'll see if we can carry it out, but that's what I want to do, so that should make your life a little easier. And then, as Lauren helpfully pointed out 42 seconds ago, because I'm watching the clock, if you come by the booth, you will see that we have a new t-shirt with the Shadowrun S on the front, but a lovely tarot card on the back of the dragon.
Anybody wearing the t-shirt? Hey! Nice job,
That's the
thank you.
front of it.
That's the front. We need to see the
The
back.
back of it.
Hold that up. If you're sitting like within 3 seats of him, it's really cool. If you're over here, just take our word for it.
Lovely Tater Crump logo.
I get Dana White paid for this, right?
That design is by the
Echo
fabulous, the wonderful, the talented Echo Chernick. She is not stopping at one card. If you go by our booth, if you go by her booth, that's 657, I believe, so kind of farther back between aisle 600 and 700, you will see more tarot prints with a Shadowrun theme. And more will come following that. How many?
An entire tarot deck.
Approximately enough to fill a tarot deck, which maybe someone should do. That would be interesting. Huh, we should think about that.
And if one of the game rules go with every card that like runs hidden in the picture.
Hey, that's a good idea. And what if we were already dropping hints in books about the tarot and you'll see more hints coming up? That would be cool.
You should get on that.
We should do that. Or we already started. So look out for the Sixth World Tarot. More information and news will be coming out. It's going to be cool. And at very, very least, it's going to be breathtakingly beautiful because Echo does great work. Everyone I've seen is just fabulous, and I'm very much looking forward to it. How much time have I got left?
9:23 now.
22 seconds. I would now like to sing the chorus. No. I won't sing anything because I did that in front of Shadowrun people once. Never again. Because I'm nice and it wasn't pleasant for anyone.
It was not a pleasant.
That's it. I'll answer questions later.
All right.
Shadowrun out.
We are not done with Shadowrun, but we're going to take a break for a few minutes while we talk about a few of the games, including, let's go to number 2 on the list, Battletech. And we have a lot of Battletech fans out here. I saw their hands earlier, so no use denying it right now. We have just come out with House Creed Sourcebook. We have just come out with, help me out here. I was going to
read out 3150.
TR 3150. I really was expecting Randall Bills to be here. So please, I did not prep for this whatsoever, as you can tell. TR 3150. We have the first, what?
Ray's here.
Ray, where are you at, Ray? If I missed something, just wave your hand and let me know what it was, okay?
Shouldn't we be up front?
I was getting there. I said if I missed something, not what am I going to miss. Man, always jumping up in front, man. Cannot keep him from taking the spotlight ever. Interstellar Operations is actually here in the nearly complete final form.
Well, no, it kind of isn't.
What's that?
Did we find more?
Well, it was here.
It was here.
Does anyone else here? Did anyone buy it today? Anyone get it? See, it was here.
It was here.
It was here.
You said is here.
Is here.
It is here.
What
We have it on the bracelets.
Interstellar. Wow. Can we have next year's meeting on the train tracks? That would be awesome. Interstellar Operations, the beta rules. We think we got it right. It is up to you people to raise your hands to make sure we got it right.
The actual secondary title, we think we got it right.
think we got it right. I'm going to put that on the next cover. This book killed 3 line developers, and I'm not kidding. We've gone through 3 line developers since moved on to other things because they went nuts. This was a big book. Every one of these big Battletech books got progressively harder because not only do we have to get you the information you wanted for the next level of Battletech, and initial operations is interstellar campaigns and such information, but they all had to agree with the previous editions. And so they do just get crazy, crazy hard. So we're pretty sure it's there. We put the beta edition out for one reason, to enlist your help to make sure it is as rock solid as it can be. Yes?
You said that book broke 3 developers?
Something like that.
Who finished developing?
Who finished developing it? I've got no idea at this point. I know you were in there, and Herb, and Randall, and someone else was in there too. I said you. You were the first person I mentioned. Man. Nah. Anyway, that book was a nightmare, and it's here. It took us 3 years? 3 years for that book?
1 year for each developer.
Since we announced it?
Since we should have, how long since Stratops?
4.
So it should have been, that book took 4 years. That book should have been out 4 years ago, and we have been, I'm not kidding, it has been worked on for 4 years, and revised and thrown away and started again, and in the end we end up breaking up and making 2 books out of it anyway, because we just can't help ourselves. But Interstellar Operations was here, is here. Let us know what you think. Following that, in addition to that, Embers of War, the return of Battletech fiction novels. The first one was here. I don't know what you guys, I've been waiting a long time for this. Not because I just want to read them, because I do. I would love to start writing them again, because it's been 7 years since I've written a novel. There we go. Hey, I'll hold that up. Yay, we have props. Written by Jason Schmetzer. Help me out there. Okay, written by Schmetzer, who is an awesome writer. Is he here?
No.
Okay, good. Who is an awesome writer. I don't want him to hear me say that. Edit that out later. And it's the first book. It's the Case White story. Help me out.
No, it's 3067.
It's the Case White jihad story, isn't it? It's the pre-jihad story with Case White to follow in one of the next 3 or 4 books. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it all in my head. You really should be up here. There we go. Ray! All right, so Battletech fiction novels. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Embers of War, based on the Battle for Hall, Kings and Pawns. It was a worldwide event from 10 years ago. And the novel line picks up where we left off with Endgame.
Yep.
Coming up after that, we have...
We don't talk about that.
No, we don't.
In generalities.
Oh.
Don't be specific.
Okay. We have 2 other Jihad-era novels.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay. And the...
And a historical.
And a historical.
We have a Mike Stackpole original novel that has never seen print for Battletech. How about that? You guys like that idea? Yeah? I'm excited about it because I love Mike's work. We do have more jihad fiction coming up. We're not sure the order it will exactly go in. That is still being worked on right now. What you got?
For novels?
Yes.
That's it?
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
You gave me 30 seconds.
You said generalities. They're going to be good.
That is a very general statement. Thank
That was a
you.
good decision
Okay.
to go with. I would have gone with good novels too.
Was there anything else that came out here at the show that we had for sale?
We had the technical readout 3150.
You mentioned that.
Okay. We had the IO beta. We have Embers of
You're
War.
backtracking.
I'm just giving a review.
All right.
Okay. We have the new Alpha Strike card set, which is compatible with technical readout 3039.
We have any left?
Yes. Yeah,
We still have Alpha Strike card sets.
So 3039 and 3050. So it's the classic era. It covers everything in that deck. Plus, it has quick start cards, so you can pick the deck up and play straight out of that deck and be introduced to Alpha Strike.
Who here is playing Battletech fans? Raise your hands. Come on, help me out here. All right, leave your hand up if you are an Alpha Strike fan as well. Alpha Strike, have played. No, that's nice. Okay, I like that. Thank you very much. This information does help us. I'm not kidding us. I really want to know this info. Appreciate it. That's nice. Okay, so what is in the near future of Battletech? What's the combat books, right?
We're coming out with a new series of supplementals for Alpha Strike. The combat manuals. The first one is Combat Manuals Mercenaries. You saw that big banner of the Natasha's Warhammer in the hall. That is the cover for Combat Manual Mercenaries. And we're going to follow up with
Just talk over it.
Combat Manual for Karita, Steiner, and Davion. It's going to cover the classic era as well.
What happened to Lau?
No one likes
I don't know.
them.
What happened to them?
I can't
No one
see
likes
it.
them.
Wow. All right, I see how it is. Davian?
Yeah.
Good. I'm keeping notes.
Okay.
Table card?
Um,
I'll fold it up quickly.
So the combat manuals will cover these factions of the classic era and have rules supporting Alpha Strike, force building. It's for beginner players, but it has.
You're good. You're good. Keep going.
I haven't played this game before. It's for beginner players, but it's also for us longtime players. It has fluff from the classic era, and the rules will be compatible mainly with Alpha Strike, but are convertible to the classic game.
There we go.
Okay, we're coming out with the first and second Section War books. They were pushed back slightly because we wanted to make sure that they utilize the rules in interstellar operations. So now that we have the beta out and we're getting the feedback, We should see those books wrap up soon, within the next 2 months for the first Succession War, and shortly afterwards for the second. Let's see. Let's talk about the redesigns. What can we say about the redesigns?
Whatever you want, in 82 seconds.
Okay, who's heard about the redesigns of the classics? What do y'all think?
Plus, if you like them, if you don't like them. Now, if you don't like them, you don't like the redesigns. I think it's beautiful.
So we've been working on that for a while. We're redesigning the classics, and right from the get-go, we have an artist who's doing the concept and doing the 3D at the same time. So what you're seeing, what we've shown you guys, are going directly into miniature production.
Did you guys see the Warhammer that's in the display case in the booth?
We've got it here.
That'll look
as well.
Oh, we do? Who stuck that in? Where's it at? Wherever's looking to the back now, is it here or is it not?
It's here.
Oh, the Camel Specs guys, huh? Because that's going to be really easy to see from 40 feet away. So it's going to be up here at the table. At the end of this, walk up and look at it before we all bolt for our hotel.
It's just a resin prototype. It's pretty fragile, but it'll give you a good idea of the detail of the new design.
Yeah, generally PPCs are not translucent, but we're experimenting.
Yeah.
All right, and?
Okay, we're going to start rolling these out in the Alpha Strike combat manuals, in the Succession War books.
Yeah, sorry.
That's it?
Yeah, you're done.
We got a good chunk of it.
We'll come back to some more Battletech. All right, that gives me 10 minutes for some of the other games and worlds we are currently looking at. So the first 5 will be games we're currently doing. I'm going to miss, so if I miss one, I'll ask you to shout out the names. I'll start alphabetically. Bravest Warriors. I'm guessing if I got that right. Bravest Warriors. It is it's a cartoon by Fred Raider, channel Fred Raider Studios. Fred Raider Studios. It is a fun, wacky adventure time for grown-ups, kind of a teenagers and grown-ups, kind of a cartoon. We like it a lot, and we happen to get I got 9 minutes 20 seconds to go. All right. We've got a Press Your Luck dice game that we're currently doing for this. We also brought some plushies, if you're into plushies. You know, some people are. I'm not judging, just saying. We also have some more stuff possibly for Bravest Warriors will be coming out soon. Nothing we can talk about yet. But the dice game is here at the show. We'll have more copies, we hope, on Saturday, and we'll be out in stores in about a month. They're at the warehouse arriving this week, which is why we don't have more at the show at the moment. Following Bravest Warriors, I said alphabetically, didn't I? I screwed myself on that one. Yep. Let's go around with everything. VW, V. What a hype.
Let's name things.
There you go. No. All right, so let's go with Vikings, which may actually be the next one. Vikings.
Cosmic
we have the
Patrol.
license. What?
Cosmic Patrol.
Cosmic Patrol.
Balance
of power.
Balance. I'm talking new stuff. I'm not really going with old stuff. We're refreshing it. But thank you, Cosmic Patrol. And where's Matt? Matt. Is he really not here? He is here. Matt. Where's Cosmic? What did we finish up for Cosmic Patrol?
What was that?
Where did we finish with Cosmic Patrol?
We had a new book last year. This year we're-
Speak up.
Phil's gonna pitch one.
Speak up loudly. Somebody, Phil, help me out.
I'm working on an outline for a new Cosmic Patrol book.
Okay, what was the most recent Cosmic Patrol book?
The most recent one was Beyond the Graviton.
Beyond the Gravistar. And that was basically at Gen Con last year, right?
Yeah.
Help me out. Okay. And we have a new one we're looking at coming out soon. I love Cosmic Patrol. Very fun. 1950s sort of rockets and ray guns, which was initially pitched to us by Matt Herritt back there in the back row. I'm a big classic sci-fi fan, so to me, that was like, coming home again. I know a few of you said Cosmic Patrol, so we haven't, it's just one of those little things we're going to keep playing with. There's other things we'd like to do with Cosmic Patrol in the future, maybe a board game, maybe a card game. Golden Age sci-fi still has a place in this industry, and I'm going to keep going with that. I mentioned Vikings. We have the license for the History Channel's Vikings. Do we have Vikings fans in here who like the show? If you're not, okay, cool. If you're not watching that show, you should. It's very, very awesome. It is violent, which of course should appeal to almost everyone in this room. It is extremely well acted. It is extremely well shot. I'm a big fan of the show, obviously, because I went out and got the license for it. We are taking Vikings, and we have reskinned the Duke. If you're a Duke fan, the reason is you can play Vikings versus Vikings, and we have a new material we put them on, all new powers and tiles. But you also can take your Viking set and your English set from the Duke, and you can face them off on the same board. And I don't know who the best one is because I play each about equally. I have one with each about equally. So I'm not saying one's better than the other. I think Vikings is harder to master, but really tough. They're tough to take down because they get a lot of defensive abilities. That shield wall is hard to break. So that's one of the Vikings products. The second one we have is the big Vikings board game, which is going to print in, I believe Randall said 3 weeks, and if he shows up here at some point,
He's running behind.
He's running a little behind.
He just said that.
Oh, he said
He's running way late. He's only about halfway through, about 20 minutes.
Okay, so the Vikings board game is a game of exploration, conquest, looting, and pillaging. All the things we love about Vikings. And that will be a very large game, Euro style, lots of pieces. You basically uncover the board as you play, so you're not really sure what's out there until you get there, and you just roll with what you find. And it will be out there, and it's about a 90 minute to 2 hour game, I believe. It's a big one. And that game should be going to print here in about 3 weeks, I believe Randall said. So we actually might see it this year in Q4. That is the goal. So that's our second Vikings product. Valiant. So I came close to the alphabetical. The Valiant Superhero RPG. Wow, that is annoying. That's the way you were stumbling around. The Valiant RPG and the Valiant Deck Builder for the Valiant comic book series. This is an awesome comic book series with a good history, with some really fabulous characters and stories. We have the RPG out now. It's based on the Cosmic Patrol system, so it is doesn't take a GM, or you can do it without GM if you wish to. We added in the superhero powers, and it literally is a group storytelling RPG event. The deck builder called Legends Rising, I think I got that right, will be using a mechanic we bought from a new design team we discovered here at Gen Con 2 years ago, using a very unique deck building board. Hard to say really a board because it's still a card game, but it's one of the best board manipulation mechanics I've ever seen in my life. It makes the deck builder extremely strategic. So it's not just about building your hand, it's also about manipulating your environment at the same exact time. So the Valiant Deck Building, Legends Rising, that should also be out, I think, if not in November, then in January, in the current schedule, as currently planned. So that's Valiant. And then the last one I want to definitely mention today, and then you'll tell me what I missed, is Wrath of Dragons. We found Wrath of Dragons. Is Keith Rentz here? Keith? Nobody? Okay. So we met Keith Rentz at Origins 2 years ago. Found this very fun game he was showing off called Wrath of Dragons, which basically is you play a dragon, you wake up after a century of sleep, and you go out and you terrorize and destroy, old Europe. And then they're pretty much all scattered, you're fed, so you sleep again for another 100 years. And you get up and you do it all over again. And it's great because it takes the European resource allocation kind of a game and turns it upside down. The board allocates itself, and it's a resource destruction game. It's how much can everyone destroy what the board is doing and hoarding as much as you can for yourself. So there is definitely it's definitely cooperative, and it's definitely got no bones about it. You are playing an evil, destroying, hungry machine called a dragon, the way dragons should be played. You haven't seen that in our booth.
Could you act out how a dragon should be?
You really got to get into it.
Thank you.
According to Bennett Cumberbatch, you walk on your wrists and you stick your neck out really far. That's how you be a good dragon. He did Smog, so I mean, come on. He knows dragons. And so that game, we flew in 120 copies. There are
Low flying train that one.
I know. There are exactly 4 copies left after today. So all of you who bought Wrath of the Dragons today, thank you very much. We have extremely high hopes for that game. It is a blast. Even if we are out of copies, please, we are running demos, 3 tables, all show long, every day. Come by and check it out. And then go home and talk to your game stores about it. This should be a really popular game in the next year. So we're really hoping even the Bouncing Shadowrun fans will give it a try. It is really unique, fun, dark, edgy game. So hopefully you'll like that. And now tell me, what have you seen that I've missed for existing properties before I talk about new stuff? I'm doing good. Existing properties, did I miss anything? Anybody?
Any new Duke stuff?
The Duke, okay, well, Jarl. I think I mentioned that's the Vikings game. So for the Duke, we've got some new character packs, tile packs coming out. Shock troops, command troops, and something else I can't remember what we called it, something troops. These are meant to replace existing tiles in the Duke. Then the Jarl is the game, which is the Duke reskinned for Vikings that I talked about earlier. So yeah, so it'll be more so, and we'll be doing new Viking stuff every year. We love it, and the sales have been wonderful, and the feedback we've got from Duke fans is we just can't put out more, we can't put out enough of it. But we're going to be doing one major revision every year, and then a bunch of expansion packs every year for the Duke. That is our current plan. Did I miss a property?
Not a property, but from Shadowrun.
What?
Sprawl Gangers.
Sprawl Gangers, Hostile Takeover. So Hostile Takeover, I think Randall said GTS, March?
That would be probably good. That's, we
Oh,
have
okay.
a revised rule set, so we made some tweaks that took care of some weaknesses we saw. So it's now all around a very strong game where you get to play Mr. Johnson in Seattle and screw over other Mr. Johnsons in Seattle. And so there's a lot of fun to it, and I think it's in a good place, so we just got to do the last production steps and it'll be ready.
Yep.
Sprawl Gangers is that's a miniature skirmish game. It will be designed to have a campaign component to it. The big hurdle there is getting miniature manufacturing down. That has been an ongoing process of learning how that works. Once we have that down, then we'll be able to move forward because the rules are in good shape for that.
For those of you who remember Leviathans, was our attempt to do miniatures without us doing the miniatures, and we discovered that was a really bad idea. If you want to do miniatures, learn to do them yourself and do it right. Don't rely on other companies who really don't care if your property does well or not. They just want to make as much as they can. So we love the quality of the games we put out, and we love giving our fans things that we know will be good for a good price. And we want to come back to Leviathans, but we are going to learn plastics inside out, backwards, forwards. Sprawl Gangers and a few other things we're doing are ways for us to learn that and bring out good quality product. So that pretty much is like the existing IPs. New IPs you may be interested in knowing about. We have just got back from the Licensing Expo. We are looking at a couple of new things. The one I can mention briefly is there's a great new television series about to start up having to do with the Terry Brooks series, Shannara. And if you haven't seen that online, seen the trailer, you really should see it. It's going to be, I'm not kidding, it looks like Lord of the Rings done as a TV series. The cinematography is amazing. The story and writing look really amazing. I don't know enough about the acting yet, but they did choose a couple actors I do know, and they have habitually done a really good job in things I've liked. Everything says this should be a winner. And we are currently working very hard to finish a deal. We've got a deal sort of in place. We are trying to finish it up right now in order to say we have the Shannara license. I think you'll see that announcement actually in the news in the coming weeks. We are also working on some other things, some other fun things. I can tell you, I would love to do games such as Galaxy Quest, the board game. I would love to do games like, Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator, free for all, bash up. Properties like this. These are things that are both, I think, they fit as a catalyst game, and it would be fun for us to push ourselves to try new things. And when we try new things, what you end up seeing is us bringing it back to the IPs you already love. You'll see us bringing ideas back to Battletech, like Battletech, a abstract game that might be called The Succession Wars or something very similar. Not the old Succession Wars with lots and lots of chits, but a new, faster playing 5th Succession War, kind of a free-for-all for a Battletech board game. You see us doing Hostile Takeover and Sprawl Gangers. We can do these games, or we can try to do these games now, because we are pushing ourselves in other areas to learn things to bring back to the existing IPs. So hopefully you'll start seeing more of that, like where we're going with that. For new stuff, I think we're back to Q&A. Did I miss anything?
I think you covered it.
All right.
You mentioned the high caliber arms.
What's that?
You mentioned high caliber arms.
Yes.
We
I
mentioned
high caliber arms.
Crossfire. I don't. We mentioned high
Yes,
caliber.
I mentioned high caliber off.
Okay. Yeah, it's at the printer. It is at the printer. It's coming in about 5 weeks. It should be on a boat. So we have now 13 minutes for questions, answers, and awkward silences. What do we got here?
Let's just do an awkward silence first.
All right.
With the train coming in, it's perfect timing too.
You already screwed it up. Man.
I still feel
Over
like-
here now. Who had a question over here? Okay.
Okay, the feedback that we've been getting from Interstellar Operations, the beta, which we've already been giving feedback back and forth now,
Yeah.
alluded to a lot of other products. Like this is really the kind of the tip of the iceberg. Rules for warships, rules for political and espionage, rules for all other eras. So what form and what timetable would those products take?
We don't really have a timetable yet. The form that those products would take are twofold. One, we're going to be supplementing them through PDF electronic products, specifically aimed at one idea there, communications or espionage. Secondly, they're going to come out in future products that will supplement Interstellar Ops partially, like the Succession Wars. They're going to be heavily supplementing IO because of the large-scale nature of those books.
Thank you.
Hopefully that helped. Okay, now we'll come back over here.
First the obligatory joke. Now that the Unseen are being redesigned, can we go back to beating up on the Capellan Confederation, as is our tradition?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. More seriously, something that wasn't talked about were smaller e-products. There was a gladiatorial thing. There was something that looked like it was supposed to replace turning points. Can you elaborate on those?
Before we do, let me ask you real quick out there. For Battletech or Shadowrun, whatever, who out here is currently has at any time or is currently using our PDF product line or e-products? Okay. Now keep your hands up real quick. If you don't like them, leave your hands up. If you have not had a good chance with, you don't really have a good feeling about it. All of you like the PDF products. I really want someone to tell me why what they didn't like about them. Anything. Didn't like our PDF product.
Some
Take
of
that
them
shirt
I
off.
can't. Fine.
Okay, now what's the problem?
Some of them I can't search. I can't have a search function.
They're not searchable?
Yeah.
I was not
Might be
aware.
some of the
I
other
was,
ones.
to my knowledge, I thought all of our PDFs were searchable, but I will look into that. Thank you. Knowing what's broke, we can help fix it. So I'll check into that. They should be searchable. That makes sense to me
Yeah,
too.
but not let us
It
know.
might be some of my
Yeah.
other always.
Yeah.
I have to fall back on nitpicky individual production.
All right. So what more PDFs do we have coming out, or what was your?
Yeah, what more PDFs are coming out and explain? I don't have, unfortunately my phone is dead, so I don't have the list, but there were 4 new EPUB products.
Four or five, yeah.
A lot of our PDFs do come, and I'll let Ray talk about things that may be actually coming out. A lot of our PDF products seems in both Battletech, Shadowrun, and other seem to stem from we find a cool idea that doesn't quite fit into a print book we're doing, or we have more material that we can use. But it's good stuff, and we think you'll like it. So sometimes when you say what's coming out in PDFs, we won't know till we see what comes in next month. And we'll say, oh my God, that'd make a great PDF, or even a PDF line. A 3-book series, or a 3 PDF series, or even a 10 PDF series like the XTROs. I mean, that's where those came from. So what's coming out in the next year? Who knows? I'm excited to see it as well. But in the near future, what do we got right now? Near future PDFs for like Battletech or Shadowrun? Either one of you.
We already covered the Shadowrun.
All the PDFs? Okay, they weren't listening. He wasn't listening. How about Battletech?
You weren't listening.
We've got the Gladiator Gazette,
That
which
was one of them.
yeah, that's the one you were saying, which is a brief look at either a particular gladiator or a stable or a particular fight, an arena. And it's just a short PDF giving you an overview of that. A little bit of fluff, a little bit of crunch in that. We have the Milestone series. That's the one that's the successor of the Turning Points. It's similar to the Turning Points, but we want to give equal focus to A Time of War, RPG, Total Warfare, and Alpha Strike, and possibly, depending on the particular one, Interstellar Ops supplemental, and a little bit more fiction than you would normally get in the typical Turning Points.
So hopefully that helps you. Excellent. Anyone else? Way back there. Wrath of Dragons.
Actually, I was originally gonna ask you if they were demoing it because one of the guys at the booth said they weren't. But
Wrath of
they are
Dragons?
demoing it. Awesome. Secondly, can we get mission books for the games you all put out, the Shadowrun and the Dragonfall? Can we get like that in mission book format?
You're talking, so we don't do, so Dragonfall, you mean the Shadowrun, like RPG online Shadowrun Returns thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so Catalyst doesn't actually do the online stuff, even though we would love to take credit for it, and we'd love to get paid for it, but we don't.
Can you pick those guys up, take the strip, and make a mission book out of it?
We are doing some work with them. We're trying to find a way to do that now. Where so far, let me back up. We try to work closely with Harebrained Schemes on both Shadowrun, and if you've noticed, they just announced a big Battletech project. We are consulting with them. We're trying to work closely with them. We love working with Jordan Weissman and his many harebrained ideas. He makes life interesting, and we love that. How close we'll work with them will depend a lot on how much time we all have to collaborate. We are currently working on we did an anthology with them recently.
Yeah, for the Shadowrun Returns, there was a short story anthology. For Hong Kong, one of the backer rewards.
Two things, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, they had two backer rewards. One, you could get the digital toolbox, which is the resources from the beginner box set and Runner's Toolkit Alphaware as a reward. And then also they promised an original Hong Kong source book. So we are planning on working with them for that Hong Kong source book. We're just ironing out the finals.
So the third thing is, we're working with them to try to do a novel based on the Hong Kong setting and storyline that they're doing. It was supposed to be written by a longtime Shadowrun author, who I'm not going to talk about because he may not have it in his schedule now. But whoever does it, you're going to like it. So we're trying to work more closely with them in the future. So the answer to your question is, we hope to do more of that. That's what you're asking. I saw a question way back there. Yeah.
I was curious with now with Battletech doing novels again. I don't know, maybe Catalyst is maybe saying this, but is there any chance of a Bonfire of Worlds actually seeing print?
You know, A Bonfire of Worlds, written by Steve Mohan, who's a good friend of mine, and he wrote a hell of a novel, is that book that kind of got lost in the transition of trying to figure out how to go forward with Battletech fiction. And yes, the short answer is I hope that will actually see print as we are now moving forward and trying to take on these storylines we were doing. The problem is there were two storylines, Battletech and MechWarrior Dark Age. And Bonfire of Worlds continues one, and Embers of War continues the other one. And doing two Battletech novel lines at the same time, let us get one up and running first, and trust me, the minute we get the other one up and running, Steve Mohan's book, Bonfire of Worlds, is going to lead the way. All right, that should be the first Dark Age book we would ever go back and do a printing of. Okay, so I would love to see it in print. 1 second, does anyone else? Yeah.
So you said Interstellar Operations split into two books. That's going to be the campaign. Yeah.
Campaign Ops.
Now, because part of that was in some form worked on during the process of Interstellar Ops, is the timeline? I know that the timeline is fluid, but is that hopefully coming out sooner rather than later because there's already been work done on it?
Sooner rather than later, but there's still more work to be done.
In a perfect world, I would schedule it for Gen Con next year. Okay? That's a perfect world. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be there Gen Con this year. That's where I would love to see it. Where it ends up will depend on the next month or so, month or two of development work and strategic planning for the company. But that's where I would try to slate it in if it was me being draconian with the schedule. That's the best I can tell you right now. Okay.
The gentleman back there mentioned Bonfire. What about reintroducing older novels, either in print or getting those back out digitally?
Some of you may have heard that there was a problem with the older BattleTech fiction and Shadowrun fiction, both. This covers both properties equally. These were all written by under FASA contracts and published by Rock mostly. And there's been some issues trying to clear up a lot of this old contract language and taking care of it. I can tell you, TOPS has directed us to help them go back to every one of the old FASA writers, BattleTech and Shadowrun. And we have been going back and cleaning up all the books and literally putting all the old novels under new contracts. So we can republish them both electronically. I don't know if you'll see physical reprints. You are more likely to see physical omnibus editions. So like 3 Nigel Finley novels for Shadowrun or Bob Charette novels for Shadowrun. You might see several Stackpole omnibuses eventually, because the man cannot stop writing novels, and will be doing more for us. Things like that. So we are working on that. Where are we in the process? Over halfway, not quite, maybe even up to 3/4, but in my opinion, the most keystone novels from both lines are still under negotiation. So that's where I have to leave it. I can't really talk much more about that because they are in a process.
Will that include working with Ardith Mayer's estate for Sword and Dagger?
I have approached Ardith Mayer's estate. That's about all I can say about, again, these are all in negotiation things. So we are working on it. I would love to see them all back in e-print, if not physical print. Okay, next question, way in the back.
Can you give us more information about the new Alpha Strike box set?
We were working on an Alpha Strike box set that was going to be, I believe, and help me out here, was supposed to be Clan versus Inner Sphere, which had like a star of Clan mechs, brand new
versus a company.
Versus 8, I thought it was 8 or...
No, it's a company.
Double Lance or a company of Inner Sphere mechs. That box keeps going back and forth as to how we want to present it. What's nice is the miniatures on that have mostly been, we have proven we can mostly do. How it fits into the overall schedule and plan for BattleTech long term is really where a lot of the arguments remain. I would say you're likely to see that product out in the next year, maybe sooner, maybe not. It has been on the cusp now for a while, and I think it's going to hit the point of moving forward very soon. But we're still working on that. I saw a question right here.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of Cosmic Patrol, and I like books almost for the fiction in themselves. Any chance of doing a fiction, even like short stories or novellas?
I would love to read Cosmic Patrol fiction, written by a guy who really understands classic sci-fi, pulp, rockets and ray guns kind of fiction.
Yeah.
There may be a guy like that in this room who has been trying to do and push that kind of an agenda. So is there a chance? Absolutely. Will it be, I guess we'll experiment probably in E format a lot first until we see what kind of reception we're getting and make sure we've got it right. Even people, the problem is fans of that genre can be extremely picky. And so we'll play with that a little bit. But I would personally love to see it, which means we'll probably do something with that at some point.
Radio surveillance.
I saw a question way in the back somewhere. Yeah?
For BattleTech, any ETA on the Ilcon source book or anything that advances the Dark Age story?
The what source book?
Ilcon.
The Ilclan source book. Or anything with that general storyline? That was kind of...
Anything that progresses the Dark Age.
Obviously, someone does not want me to answer that question, so let me ask for any other questions. No. Are there plans for it? Yes. Are the immediate plans? Not exactly. There's a lot of cool story material in there. I would, as a writer and reader of BattleTech fiction and a player of the game, I would love to see more of that explored. I mean, heck, I set up the characters in the Swords Edition and Fortune Republic with to do that, to play with that and really take that to the next level. I would love to see someone come in there and take those and really ram it home. It's not there yet, and probably not until we really get the Jihad line set in stone and moving forward, we'd probably go up to the Jihad and try to wrap it and move that forward, or at least wrap it up as well. The problem with two competing timelines in the same universe, we had to pick one, and so we went with the one that Fast had been championing for a lot longer than WizKids was around. So that just was it was just a call we had to make. So I hope that answer gives at least some hope that we will get to that question eventually.
Well,
but we.
Because 2 years ago at Gen Con, they said the Ilkman source book would be out by November.
There was, yeah, we had to basically kind of like relook at Battletech and things we want to do with Battletech, and we looked at some of the things we've been promising for a lot longer, like Battletech novels we've been wanting to do. Honestly, Battletech novels is why we started IMR, which became Catalyst Game Labs, and it took us almost 10 years to figure out how to do them. So we really had to figure out what we had that we could reach and actually accomplish, now. And then we will try. We do want to get back to that, and we will try to do so as soon as we can. It will probably get more information out in the next, hopefully, before the end of the year. Maybe some more about what's going on in the Dark Age and where we are going to go with that source material, if not the fiction. Right here first.
Yeah, kind of a bit of a negative tone on this one. Any hope of fixing some of the issues coming out of Battleshop? Shipping problems, communication issues. I know, for example, for me, I'm in Canada. I've got to the point, to be honest, I prefer to buy the stuff from you guys direct. But between the shipping costs and the fact that for 2 years, every book I ordered, I had to literally prompt the shipping process, or I got it twice.
We spent a lot of time and effort building an entire new website with an entire new store, thinking that would help us solve the problems, and what we ended up doing was creating a whole bunch of new problems. We've now got to figure out how to put them together. So we thought we were on the process of doing that very thing, and what we ended up doing was not only burying ourselves deeper, but pulling dirt in on top of our heads. So again, building an e-commerce site is not as simple as it sounds. We are trying to do this much material. We really are. We're trying to do better. No one in this company ever thinks we couldn't do a better job. I know our customer service person who does a lot of the work there, who takes a lot of grief on my behalf, wants nothing more than to get you what you want quickly and seamlessly. And it bothers all of us that we are not yet there. So we are hoping to, get the e-commerce is a big part of what we're doing, and we need to fix that. Yes. We will make another attempt to do so soon.
Will once you get around to producing the re-imaged classics, will they be available from Ironwind also, or will they only
that would follow. I mean, Ironwind basically, if we get them into print, then usually Ironwind gets them into physical metal form, especially if we get them in plastic form also. And Ironwind loves us doing plastics, by the way. We are not trying to shut Ironwind down. Every time we do plastic mechs, their metal sales go up. So, because plastic mechs help us try new things out, and we can only do one mech. They'll take that and make 7 variants. So they love us we're not going to do more than maybe a few dozen here and there. They're going to do hundreds. So yeah, we will hope as we do them and get them into print, you'll see them in both plastics and potentially metals and potentially plastics as well. All depending on where we're focusing on the story and the source material. I had a question back from the back again.
Do you all still own little pieces of Earth Dawn?
No. We have nothing to do with Earth Dawn.
Earth Dawn still have some of their elves and dragons.
If there's, oh boy, how do you answer that? If there's any potential crossover between Earth Dawn and Shadowrun, it is currently of a completely superficial and unintended nature. Is that good enough?
Our lawyers have endorsed that wording.
I'm pretty sure the other side of that whole thing he went through was
I know nothing about that.
Yeah. The gods are unhappy. There is nothing going on with any kind of Earth Dawn, Shadowrun, 4th World, 6th World, whatever world crossovers at this point. Whatever's out there right now remains out there. We're not going to bury stuff just because it may have shown up in another game currently owned by another company, but we're not going to be exploiting that heavily. Well, I can't even say that quite clearly. We're not going to be exploiting that aspect of it heavily in the near future. There may be other things stemming from that whole relationship that we may do in the future that you would find interesting. Wow, I'm really upsetting people.
Like?
Nope, that's it. Shut it down.
Remember, you don't like him. You don't have to listen to him.
He's got a good point. But actually, you know, I was actually about to miss
He
10:06.
knows me.
I'm out of time. So, one last question. Make it a good one. Anybody else? All right, go ahead.
For the printed BattleTech novels that you were thinking of redoing, other questions, could we skip the book that shall not be named? Can we just ignore that?
There's like 5 of those.
The big one.
Far Cry.
I'm still.
He said the words.
Oh, that I was like, there were too many choices I could have gone in there, and I don't want to insult the author. Some of these guys are friends of mine, so no. If they're there, they're there. Just don't buy it. I'm not going to force you to. I'm not going to force you to go buy it or read it again.
I will.
So, all right.
Wait, you'll read it or you'll force it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes to
Just
both.
checking, one clarification.
Everyone, really, thank you for coming out tonight. It's been a late evening. I've had a good time. I hope you had a good time. I hope you got some information that's was actually useful. Thank you very much.
Oh, one more quick thing. I mentioned Echo Chernick, go check out her booth, but also if you want to see the work of the assistant art director for Shadowrun, go to the Bizarre Bazaar over in the Arts Garden next to the Mall Food Court. See a lot of funky artists out there. So you want to see more fun game art besides what's in the Arts Alley, go there.
All right, come see us in the booth tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Lauren, that's like Ergo.